The hemp plant itself can produce every single thing humans need to survive.
Yes, ma'am.
And it can do so, and every product that it makes will be biodegradable. It can give you your shelter, your food, your fiber, your sacrament, your sealant, your medicine, your oil, everything that you need, your fuel, your paper, everything you need to survive can come from this one plant, and it can do so all naturally and biodegradably. And why they are polluting this planet with all of these products, it does not make any sense, while North Carolina farmers are suffering because they don't have a cash crop. You know, help us get this industrial hemp for this state and the medical marijuana bill for the patients. You know, they're not criminals. They need to be able to have their choice of medicine, and God made this plant. No, I mean, if you were gonna have two different things, and God made one, and man made one, which one would you most likely trust?
Yeah, I'm running with God.
That's right, I'm running with God.
And let me ask y'all, what could we as the people do to help you all's movement? Help this.
Tell them, Perry.
Let me tell you one reason why it's really urgent. What she's telling you is true. I'm a 29-year military veteran, flew helicopters in Vietnam. I was not partially paralyzed, but I was pain-ridden all the time. I was treated at Duke Pain Clinic for 2 years. Okay, it's a new story, and I have no pain at all. I testified before the health committee about the fact that it provided this benefit. Well, last month, my wife and I went to Rhode Island to the 6th clinical conference on the therapeutic use of marijuana. It's for the doctors and nurses in the 14 states where it's already legal. One of the things that I learned that was important to me was, how did my relief work? I didn't know, but for the last 3 years, it's been great.
Yes, sir.
But what I found was, in San Francisco General Hospital, they hooked the patient up to a brain scan. So it's not just say, hey, how do you feel after smoking this joint? It's watching the guy's brain. And so what they did, they wanted to see, in California, since it's legal, is it safe to give them opioids, which are your narcotic medications, along with cannabis.
Yes, sir.
Okay, when they did that, they found not only was it safe, but it really made the opioids work better.
And longer.
Enhanced them.
And you wouldn't have to take as many.
And so when they asked the patient, how do you feel? He said, man, this is the most complete pain relief I've ever gotten. And it lasted longer, and next time they called for a lower dose of narcotics. Okay, and this is not just asking the guy, this is watching a screen where you have somebody with pain, like I have, degenerative disc disease, and you have somebody else who's not, he's healthy. They inject chili peppers to generate a pain symptom in the healthy people. And then they use the cannabis and they watch the brain scan, and it's all red from the pain. And when the cannabis is inhaled, within 10 seconds it starts to turn blue. And that corresponds with what you're asking the patient, how do you feel? I feel great. Okay, so here's what you have a medicine that works like this. It also works with anti-seizures. It works with tremors tremors disorders of all sorts. It works with extremity type pain.
It works with nerve damage. It works with asthma.
And the reason it works with so many diseases and disorders is because your body has its own endocannabinoid system. You have a system inside your body that has receptors all over your body for cannabis to help feed it to function and regulate your system.
I'll tell you how good the evidence is. About 2 months ago, in Rhode Island, where marijuana is legal, the governor said, I'm going to veto this because you're going to try to make it, you're going to make dispensaries for them to go and get it. Well, when they voted for it, the governor overrode it and said, no, I'm going to veto this. The override in the House was 65 to 0.
They overrode the veto.
In the Senate, it was 35 to 3. I took that article and I underlined it and I said, what do they know that we don't know? And I gave it to the Speaker of the House. I said, you should be ashamed of yourself, man. You don't get a 65 to nothing vote unless you've got a slam dunk argument. They got Republicans and Democrats saying, hey, this needs to be done.
We need the revenue. We need the revenue that patients are willing to pay. We're willing to be taxed. We're willing to pay for our medicine and get this program under control and do what we got to do and get it to the sick people of this state.
Look at this, a veteran right here.
A veteran.
You can see the screw in his ankle. They busted him last week for his medicine. That's the truth. He's right now facing a court case. He's 67 years old, was in Vietnam with me, flew in the same
I've
helicopter.
been using it for medicine for 38 years.
And we're all going to go to court and be there in moral support for this man. He shouldn't be treated like a criminal. This man suffers so that he can't get a good night's sleep without a little cannabis to put him to sleep at night.
100% disabled from PTSD, and they busted him for growing his medicine.
And then the VA,
Took his car
then
for a
the
week.
VA took my medicine. It really helps me. They took that away because they had cannabis in it.
But they'll give you a pill now.
The thing of it is, so with
Marijuana
every
is
arrest they
synthetic.
make,
It is not
that's a
Pills
cost.
that make you walk around
That's
like
the
you're a
state
zombie.
has to cost. They have to prosecute that case. They have to get a prosecutor. They have to get courtroom time. They have to do all the things.
Court costs.
This bill, if they would pass it, this bill, the first year, will generate $67 million in tax revenue. Just in licensing fees and tax revenue that
And
comes
patient
from the
registration.
dispensaries.
We have to pay a fee to get a patient card. That will be done through Health and Human Services that stands to lose 1,000 jobs in the proposed budget that I saw on TV.
Plus, this
We're
job
losing
will create
teachers.
in excess
we're
of
losing
1,000
teachers every day,
jobs.
man.
Our children
The
have been
first
lied
year.
to
No
about
money.
this
Big amount of
plan.
can.
Our children want to get their hands on it so bad because we've lied to them. We've never taught them to respect it as a medicine, that it's for grown-ups.
And now we see police
Prison state, man,
chiefs
that's what they wanna
and
do. They wanna build more
doctors
prisons,
and
not
Build more prisons and lock you guys up that use it.
And you see these prosecutors and they're saying, oh, well, our greatest problem is prescription drugs. Well, they bombarded the airwaves with, oh, eat a pill, you
They
know, for
kill
the
you.
past 10 years. And then these pills, and then they lie to children about marijuana. Now, the thing of it is, if they lie to a child about cannabis and they try it and they realize
It don't do
that
that to
does
you.
not do what they say, then why would they believe them if you tell them, well, if you snort methamphetamines, you're going to get hooked?
And you're
Why
going to
would
die
they believe
if you do
them?
too much.
If they already lied to them about something else.
That's what happened to me back in '69. I was a coach. I'd worked my way through school, played football, you know, learned the gymnastics,
Yeah.
gymnastics and all that. Got me a job coaching, you know. Well, it lasted 1 year. In the summer, I just got, 26 was the cutoff. I was 3 days before I was turned 26, they got me. Sent me to Vietnam. That's right. Sent me over there killing all them people and stuff. So it messed my whole life. When I come back, I couldn't teach.
Yeah.
Man, I had to figure out what was going on first.
That's another issue. We've got professors in this state
You know,
that are
just,
concerned that college students are losing their educational funding for being busted for $10 worth of cannabis. 3 of our presidents smoke marijuana. Why are these children losing their educational funding? They're just as smart and creative as President Obama is.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's not fair to these children to lose their educational funding.
This is how much it's getting. This is the Charlotte Observer. This is 2 weekends ago. This is the big picture. Marijuana is getting a grown-ups culture. Right underneath you see Harborside. That is the largest dispensary in the United States. That's where the medicine is dispensed. You know what happened? This is another one of the reports in Rhode Island. They said, hey, we're dispensing this as medicine. How can we find out what's in it? Well, I don't know. Where do you get it tested? Nowhere. So they bought their own laboratory. They bought their
They do
equipment.
their own testing.
They hired their chemist, and they started testing their marijuana to see what was in it. That
The
way,
quality.
when you look at the quality in here, you will see underneath the cannabis you're buying exactly what the THC, and the
THC, the
CBD
CBC
content.
Yeah.
count.
And different strains of cannabis
And
are
it-
good
they-
for different kinds of diseases. Some people for arthritis may want a different strain. People that have serious cancers and are throwing up need a different strain, a heavily or sedative kind. People that get out and work need something that doesn't heavily sedate them. This research needs to be done in North Carolina. We got Duke, we got
have-
UNC, 2 of the biggest medical organizations in this country.
Wake Forest.
Wake
We have,
Forest,
Baptist
they
Hospital.
need to study cannabis.
We have a
Duke was
school
actually,
coming here, the
Duke
Medical
was doing
Marijuana
cancer
University.
research. Duke was doing cancer research until 1970 when they passed the Controlled Substances Act under Nixon and stopped.
There's too
All
much
the
human
research.
evidence and they don't know what to do with it. There's people like me that lost weight, that feel better fighting a 5-inch tumor that are still alive. That's what's going on.
Nation, I did, during hemp-fest History Week, I was able to check out the Capitol Hemp at the DC convention where the president Vote Hemp and the Hemp Industries Association was a part of. But yeah, you know, we have lots of patients here, lots of people out here to get information on how to get involved. You know, it's a healing herb. We got to look out for our loved ones and take care of them. You know, because that's, you know, when medicines work, there's no denying them. You know, and that's why, you know, especially, you know, with the medications that are out there, you know, people are taking all these different combinations where sometimes they're almost lethal combinations if they eat the wrong pills together, when in fact we could use something natural, like, you know, the herb that's been blessed for, you know, the people, a healing herb, and basically, you know, seek treatment in different, you know, cures in that way. So it's really, you know, something that it's just ridiculous. Also.
And let me ask you this one thing. So for any of the viewers that are not here today that won't be able to just see you, is there anywhere, where would the people be able to find you at? You got a website or anything?
Yeah, charlottehemfest.org is, you can check me out, send me an email through there. Yeah, I think we're going to be adding a discussion forum on there as well in the future. Other than that, just Facebook, Charlotte Hemfest. You should be able to find us on there too. So. Thanks to Manny-Mac Productions coming out. One love. This is cool, man. You guys are gonna shoot some good videos. I'm psyched.
Right. Yo.